first of all, welcome. Thank you for sitting down with me. I know you were very busy, man. You'd be all over the country. You'd be all over the world. Yeah. So I know you got to be thirsty. You ready for a drink?
Yeah, sure. What we having?
So today we are having what we call sophisticated gentlemen. It is, because we like to be sophisticated, but I also like to be a little bit sometimes. So this guy, that's where the bourbon comes in. So this is on our signature cocktail menu here at the Vick Rooftop. What it is we make an in-house brown butter bourbon, and we're going to take that 12 count there. Then we add a little simple syrup, which is just sugar water. Okay. A little toffee. Actually. A little bit of this. So this is Ango bitters, chocolate bitters, and a little saline. Okay.
Fancy over there. I like it.
Yeah. Look at these guys, man. They got the seeds on there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Tell Solaire, I've been cheating and saying that's for Chillmore. You know what I mean? Let's stir that up. What you been up to, man? You just had your show May 3rd, didn't you? Benny the Butcher?
Coming up May 3rd.
We're not there yet.
We're not that. Yeah, we're talking about the future. Depending on when this airs, So maybe by the time
it airs,
it'll already have happened.
So this will air on the 4th, the day after.
The day after. All right, cool. So yeah.
So excellent, man. How did you make? I gotta say, I know you've been in the business for a long time. You have placements all over all major sports platforms and all this. How did you come across these connections? Just a lot through that? Do you have a manager, or you just be out there?
So I'm signed to a label, 83 Sound. We're based out of Los Angeles, and I have known the guys at that label. The label was started in 2020. I was the first artist ever signed with that label, but I'm actually been friends with those guys for over a decade. Shout out of sight, probably about 15 years now. So we specialize in sync place music, film, television. I do a lot of shit with sports, ESPN, Monday Night Football.
I saw your song got formed on an app, an MLB app.
Oh yeah. I just they actually contacted us direct. Konami, the video game company, developed a mobile video game called MLB Pro Spirit, and I did the title screen song for that.
That's amazing.
Maybe last year sometime they reached out.
So that's kind of how you get recurring or residual income.
Yeah, for sure.
Licensing. First of all, let's cheers. I speak a little gold because we're kings.
Absolutely.
I sit on top of the world. I never thought I would be here. And, we are building ourselves from the bottom up, so you relate, and then you end up in a situation like this.
Yeah.
Man, growth is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so when I started, this is an interesting story. When I started, there used to be a frat house here. And the person who did my videos at the time, he lived in a frat house.
Yeah.
So I was here every day. Yeah. So when I came up here, it's so weird because his window was out in this direction, but it wasn't up this high.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And my parents went to high school here, so.
Full
circle moments.
All right, and it is full circle, and it's funny. So the Hotel Solaire, part of the agreement when they bought the property, is they had to rebuild fraternity and sorority house. Okay. So they rebuilt those, the ones right behind there, and they're like mansions. So they also own the Hub here and the Deacon, and then they're going to develop this project.
Awesome. Yeah. They're doing a lot over here. I like it.
They are really doing a lot, man. So tell me a little bit. So, you've been in the game for a long time, and they say game is free, but I agree with that to the people that are
to an extent.
To an extent, right? To the people that are deserving, that are putting in. So, how does one go about? I know you would slide through your label and stuff, but say someone's starting out, because you can get placements, you can get playlists. Radio is still kind of harder to get on, and then you get lost in the road. Can you give them a little blueprint for somebody starting out? How to get into sync license?
Well, I know just kind of what I know that distributing companies like United Masters and stuff, you can upload your music to there, and they have an actual department to where you can have them shop your stuff.
And it's a page.
Yeah, so I can't really necessarily speak much on that because as far as the sync business, I've been in it with the label from the jump since I've been in it. You know what I mean? So I can tell you how we do it. It's basically they'll send me production, and I already know the formula. I've been signed 5 years now, so I know the formula, and they'll just say, hey, send us stuff. I mean, they really don't give me any bullet points. One time I really got bullet points from the video game company because they wanted something specific. You know what I'm saying? So, but usually I'll just write these records, record them. Either I'm here or LA, depending on where I'm at. If I'm here, I'll just send them to them, and then they'll mix and master them, and then they'll shop them through our agency, and then. Sometimes I don't even know it's getting used. Like,
Oh, really?
I won't know until I've been paid sometimes. Like, I'm in my statement. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like
that's
once
nice.
Stephen Colbert, they used it for the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. One of my songs, I had no idea it happened. Like, you
That's
know what I'm saying?
amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to like, with those moments, like, and a lot of times for first time artists, like, I was thinking, like, cause like I said, I have a single come out. I'm trying to get in contact with boys. I'm like, what if they play it like this?
Yeah, no, it happens all the time.
And you hope somebody captures that
It
moment.
happens all the time.
Yeah, that happens. So some of these placements, I got my notes here.
Yeah.
You have placements in Major League Baseball, NFL, UFC, NHL, MLS, and NBA.
Yep.
So how do you still stay motivated, man? Or do you love passion for?
I mean, I'm hip hop, man. This is what I've been doing. I mean, I wanted to become. I remember my first time ever thinking like wanting to be a rapper. I was like 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's just who I am. So yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do anything else. I always say now at this point, what I'm going to do, quit and become an electrician. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely not.
This is who I am. What I do. So the motivation comes from that a lot. But I mean, I don't want to say I'm greedy or it's all about the money, but of course, yeah.
But it's about the grind, the hustle for sure. That's life.
Heck yeah.
And I know you say, you're a hip hop artist, you're a rapper, but I would consider you a recording artist first.
100%.
Yeah, and what? So I noticed when we talked a little bit. First of all, I really have to applaud your professionalism.
Thank you.
You've been very easy to talk to. A lot of prep talks, answered all my questions. One of the things that we came up that I asked is, I feel like you have a very heavy New York influence in your music. And yes,
Gold flakes.
Yeah, gold flakes. In your music, and you spent a quarter of your life there.
Yeah.
So, what? Tell me about that, and then I'll follow this up with a preface. Tell me about your time in New York. And my question is, New York is the birthplace of hip hop. Absolutely, and it's the promised land, it's the mecca. But I also think, do you think Atlanta is becoming the new age mecca of hip hop?
I call Atlanta Black Hollywood. I think that's it because they do movies there too. A lot of movies are filmed there, so it's a melon. Well, New York's a melting pot, but Atlanta, as far as right now and everything going on, I feel like they have kind of sold package movie studios down there, record labels, this and the third. New York is the mecca of it, like you said, and I feel like that was the birthplace of everything. That's what drew me there at 19 years old, 8 days after 9/11. I moved to go to engineering school for Institute of Audio Research. But at the time, I didn't know anything about audio engineering. Like, I just left. And I remember I always said I left, and all I thought was like, well, I want to be in the music business. I didn't know what. I wasn't even rapping it. You know what I'm saying? So I wound up meeting a few rappers. Shout out my boy Life, like Dutchy, and I'm the type of dude, like, if I see you do it, I can probably do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I always had a passion for it. Like I said, my first thought about being a rapper was like 3 years old. I was writing raps like that. When I'm getting to the point where I'm actually being confident about it, probably 23 stuff for years.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer in friendly competition is healthy.
100%. I was around some pretty dope MC stuff.
Yeah, and they say, the 5 people that you surround yourself with closest, you'll become the 6th. So surround yourself by MCs or, producers or people that are just professionally making it.
100%.
And you stay, you follow a presence, and you learn to be quiet and listen.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
That's the big thing. I just think that comes with maturity.
Yeah.
So I'm going to follow this up with New York. We do a segment called a Blind Top 5. Are you familiar?
No.
So Blind Top 5 is I'm going to give, and we're going to do new top 5 New York rappers. Okay, but I'm going to name one. You have to rank them 1 through 5 without knowing who's coming next, and you cannot move the board.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to start out with New York rappers. We are going to start out with Jay-Z.
Number 1.
Okay. Knox.
2.
Okay. Jadakiss.
4.
Biggie.
3.
And 50 Cent.
5.
Okay. You put him at 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because lyrically, 50's nice, 100%. but I think he is a better songwriter
I agree.
than he is, and a hook writer than he is an MC or a rapper.
I agree.
100% he got bars. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, the Irreturn Dire was a classic. I mean, he had several albums that I think are underrated.
Hell yeah. Even the one before that, the name's slipping me, but it was kind of an underground one. I remember being in New York in '01, coming back here with that. Nobody knew who it was.
Yeah.
I remember telling a friend, like, yo.
Was it Piggy Bank or something?
Something like that. It had a Rob.
Yeah.
It had a
Rob.
Yeah, it had a Rob on there. And I can remember, like, he was in Brooklyn. I mean, he's from Queens, but we were hearing about him in Brooklyn in the early 2000s. So I was coming back here, and pre-internet here, we kind of got things a little late. Mark Twain once said, if the world was to end, I want to be in Cincinnati, because they wouldn't figure it out for 7 years. Yeah. I think with the internet now, kind of shortened that 7 years.
Yeah, I think our secret is kind of out that we're no bad.
Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, so I just think, yeah, that's a pretty. Yeah, what was the order though?
So you had Jay-Z first,
Right.
You had Nas 2, you had Biggie 3, Jadakiss 4, and 50 Cent 5.
What'd you have? Or it was just.
So this is just for you.
Oh, okay,
this is just for you. I just
right.
picked names. So I try not to think about it too hard, because you can do all your research and this and that, but like for me, just kind of like you did, I'm like, what the fuck? Those are the first 5 things.
Right.
Obviously I had to think about Wu-Tang Clan. You think about names like Big L. You think about names like even Ja Rule.
Yeah, Ja Rule got hits, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was the Drake before Drake.
100%, I agree.
He just picked the wrong team to go against.
Well, wrong person to go.
Yeah, man, they was like, well, it's just that you had 50 Cent on fire. You had Eminem who's, if you give him time to write, it's undefeated.
Hell yeah.
And he got Dr. Dre, who's just like, this is great.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Future did with fucking Kendrick. He thought that shit would be funny, and now he won. I did not expect a diss. What do you think of that?
What is
At this moment in hip hop, and what message that it sent, that a diss record that severity of diss sweeps the Grammys. Now they did change the formats, and they opened up voters from like under 100 to 13,000.
Right.
So this is more of the nation. Like we even have, I think we have some Grammy voters here. Jess Lamb is a Grammy voter.
Yep.
I don't even know how you can consider it for that. I guess you got to have a certain amount of body of work.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah, or just like an influencer. But what do you think that? And do you think that helps or hurts it?
As far as winning Grammys?
Grammys from this song.
I mean, it's a diss song second if you're talking about it in that instance. It was a hit record.
It was.
Everywhere. So,
And it still is.
traditionally, just like you told me, that Drake kind of invented that back to back. Where he made it a single and you start hearing it everywhere. You know what I mean? I'll hit him up with a single too, so don't get me wrong there. But so I can't really say Drake invented it, but for this era, you know what I'm saying?
And I think Kendrick is one of the few artists that can, at this point in time, and like Little Baby's a perfect example of this, where they just constantly had to drop.
Yeah,
Constantly, because it's no longer just a body of work. You have to be a content creator, and Kendrick, I think, is the exception to that rule in the modern landscape.
He's like the older type of artist where he would drop for a year, just disappear for a while.
Yeah, well, it's been like 4 years, but he, and I think
I blame that on COVID too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of that had something to do with COVID.
what was it? Marauders and the Big Steppers.
Yeah, that was after COVID.
Yeah, it was after, and it just wasn't. But it was like his art piece. But I also think Kendrick's at a point after you win a Pulitzer Prize, you win these Grammys, you do this, and you put your team on. He was waiting to be challenged.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Hip hop needed it. You know what I'm saying?
Hip hop absolutely needed it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I honestly wish, okay, so I don't, not necessarily with the drill rap, because they take that shit too far.
Yeah, 100%.
But I don't know why, like even in Cincinnati, you can name 50 rappers right there. They could go, but I feel like they could build notoriety if they challenge each other. Call each other out, but keep it peaceful.
I think it's that in a perfect world, yes.
Yeah.
But this place is too small, and you're going to run into that person.
That's fair.
At some point, and you can't expect you from other people. So yes, I'm gonna sit here and say, oh, so it's just competition.
Yeah.
Some judge may not take it like that. Then you gotta go somewhere and you gotta watch your back all the time. So
That's fair.
For competition in sport, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if everyone is mature enough to do such.
Well, and I think that's where some of the leaders and the veterans should step in, but they almost stir the pot more than anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a weird thing for me because I try to stay out of it. Not even trying to stay out of it. I have someone know what's going on over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might catch what's going on from, social media sometimes, but I try to stay out of it.
I try and stay out of it too. So before we go to a break and get a word from our sponsors, how'd you like that?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good?
Yeah.
It's all right. Sophisticated gentleman. I'll put gold on yours too. Give us a moment. When we come back, we're going to talk about the cities around the world that Santino is seeing and talk a little bit more about the game. Okay? We'll be back. All right. Take a quick break. What are we at?
And that's me, Diggity Dean Dang Sampson.